Hey, we are live here on the FIFA Koballa podcast, and this podcast will be running a bit different than usual because every podcast we have guests. But this time around, we're writing solo, and we haven't done that since the very first episode of the podcast. So I'm excited to do that once again. And another thing, too, is we've been having trouble finding guests. I've been trying to find guests, but haven't got the responses, and yeah, we don't have any guests at the moment. So hopefully we'll get some more in the upcoming future. And yes, so basically this podcast, I want to give my thoughts on FIFA 22. The game just came out a couple weeks ago, so I want to give my thoughts on that, as well as my goals and what I want to do with this game and with the streaming and content creating. And speaking of content creating, I just want to say thank you to all of those that have supported us thus far. We hit milestones. We hit 500 followers on Twitch, 200 subscribers on YouTube, and our podcasts both on YouTube and the podcast platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts have been growing. So we do have listeners from around the world that are tuning in to our podcast sessions, and we would like to thank each and every one of you guys for supporting us. So hopefully, we could continue to make more content for you guys. And if you want to support us, you could obviously support us by following and subscribing to our content, our platforms, as well as there's also a support link in the podcast in Spotify, I think in Apple Podcasts, all platforms, where you could drop donations if you really want to support us financially. That'd be great. If you have the funds to do that, that'd be awesome. You could also support us live on stream as well with subs and bits. That'll do us wonders if you do that, but no pressure to do that. If you have the funds to do so, that'd be great. If not, you could just support us by just being there with us and watching our content. So would like to again thank you guys for all the support. Now going on to FIFA 22. Well, we could talk about some of the features of 22, the differences between 21 and 22. Probably won't go over all of them because there is a lot. But the features that I've noticed myself and what other peers and other content creators have mentioned have been pretty similar all across the board. And the modes that I play on 22 is obviously Ultimate Team. I've been playing a little bit of Pro Clubs because Pro Clubs is pretty fun, especially if you got a community, you got a good group of people that want to just go in there and play and have some fun and socialize. It's great to have Pro Clubs running as well. So in regards to FIFA 22, well, I think one of the first things that is very noticeable is the gameplay is a bit slower as opposed to 21. I think a lot of people have mentioned that. It feels a bit slower, feels a bit more realistic, and people have their views on that, whether they like it more realistic or more like a game where you could kind of do unrealistic things. But my thoughts are, I mean, I like it a bit faster personally, and yeah, I just like, maybe I like the more unreal stuff, the more ridiculous stuff more. Maybe because I've been so used to it playing 21, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter as much. Obviously, the slower gameplay does affect me in that I have to adjust, right? So does everybody else that's playing the new game. So I gotta adjust to the new speed of the game, and yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is the passing it feels a bit different. It feels a bit off, maybe a little inconsistent. I've heard that too. I kind of felt that too. But then again, even in 21, the passing hasn't been the greatest. And I always feel like it doesn't pass to the person I want it to. So, I guess it's more or less the same. I don't know. If I'm being, if I'm looking at from a third person point of view, it does, it does seem like the passing is a bit off, and the ball doesn't want to go where I want it to go. Um, but maybe that's in every FIFA. Maybe it's just like, you do want it to let it go somewhere, but it doesn't. Um, so yeah, even the aerial passes when I try to switch it, uh, I I would think like it would go a little further than I thought, but it just passes it to the next person, and it's just one of those things where your teammate just happens to be there, and you didn't put enough strength to pass it to the next person over. So I don't know if that's more of a game issue or a skill issue. So it's hard to differentiate personally for me whether the passing's off due to my skills or due to the feature of the game. Now, when I think the biggest thing for 22 that I've struggled with is the finishing. And again, a lot of people think the same way. They also agree that finishing is a lot tougher, and that's largely due to the fact that the goalkeepers are a lot better at saving, so it makes it a lot harder to score. So some of the goals that I would score in 21, they don't go in 22. For example, one would be if I'm in the box, I want to shoot near post. Those would usually get saved more often than actually going in the net. So what even pro suggests is going far post more often than near post. And a lot of the finesse shots in the box are also hard for it to go in. It's harder for it to go in, and usually those go in more often in 21 that I've noticed than 22. And a lot of people suggest using low driven shots because low driven shots get past the keeper more often as opposed to the shots that just kind of go in the air. Unless you put a lot of power into it. If you put a lot of power into a shot, it's more likely going to go in. But the thing with that is if you put too much power, it's obviously going to go over the crossbar or it's not going to hit its target. So I think adjusting to the finishing has been pretty tough, and I think right now at this point I'm starting to get used to the meta shooting in this game, and that is the finesse shots, the time finishing, the outside the box goals, and going far post more often, and low driven shots. So all those shots are the ones that you got to utilize more to get more goals in there. And yeah, even moving within the box has been kind of tough for me lately. Maybe it's with my personnel that I had on my squad. So, because I did have, a Benzema and a João Felix in there, but João Felix can kind of move a little bit. I don't know if he's, as shifty as some other guys like a Dybala, who I've been playing with as of late, who I packed recently, and he's more shiftier in the box and he, moves around quicker, more responsive. So, well, anyways, going back to the shooting, yeah, that's a huge adjustment that I would have to make, and it's a huge part of why I haven't been winning games. Defensively, more or less, I'm okay. Not the greatest defensively, but it's the scoring. It's the ability to score goals has been troubling in the beginning. But I believe I'm getting it down, and I'm utilizing the shooting. I'm practicing the time finishing. I'm utilizing more low driven goals. Um, so that's where I'm at right now in regards to that. We got someone in the chat, man77. What is up? How's it going, my man? Welcome to the podcast session. We'll do a live Q&A in a bit, but if you could just listen in and just enjoy the podcast. But welcome into the podcast and the live stream. So yeah, I think those are the features where it's been a bit of change. Obviously, it's the hypermotion technology, but I think that's more applied to the next gen, more applied to PS5, Xbox Series, and a lot of people have been saying that they'd rather play on the PS4 as opposed to the PS5. So I think it's due to the gameplay. They don't like the hypermotion. I think that's the main reason. And for me personally, it really doesn't matter as much. The pro scene is at PS5, so people assume that PS5 would be a lot more sweatier. So people want the easier route at PS4 and want to play there. But to me, I don't really see a difference. Maybe because I'm at the lower divisions, but if you go higher, I mean, all the pros are going to be playing on PS5 because it's going to be played on that console. I don't know about Xbox. I heard rumors that the pro scene, if you want to play in the pro scene, you need a PS5, and they're only going to play on that console. But I do need confirmation on that. I'm not sure. A fellow pro player has told me that, but if the chat would like to let me know, if anybody would like to let me know and confirm on that, I would love to know. So that is the features that I've noticed, the biggest notice that I've seen in this FIFA that has personally affected me. I don't know what else is there really. Oh yeah, there's a lot of changes with Ultimate Team in terms of rivals and foot champs, and there's obviously a lot of videos on how that all works. Going into 22, we're thinking we have the typical Gold 3, Gold 2, Gold 1, Elite rankings, but they completely changed that up. They say FIFA. So Man77 says FIFA 22 will be the best. It has a lot of bugs and glitches. I'm sure they'll patch things up. Yeah, I'm sure. I heard recently they patched up the finesse. I don't know if that's true or not, or if they're going to. Maybe they'll nerf the keepers to make goal scoring a lot more easier. So that's what I think. But the whole division rival system and the foot champ system, they really changed it up. And the rankings, there's no gold 1 or gold 2, elite, anything like that. But it's obviously divided into ranks. And division rivals, you really got to work your way up. You got to be able to win like consecutively, have a winning streak going for you to really rank up. And personally for me, I'm in Division 5. It's been a struggle going up, but as of late, as a change with my new squad, I've been kind of hitting my stride. So hopefully we'll continue to improve and increase in rank. Maybe we'll hit that elite division, but we'll see if we're good enough for that. And in regards to FUT Champs, once you qualify, which is 1,500 points, you got to play these 9 preliminary games. They are considered FUT Champs, but those 9 games determine whether you get into the finals, which is the 20 games that you pay for more rewards and to see how good you are amongst other people. And unfortunately for me, since 22 has been such a struggle, the 2 times we qualified, we have not been able to make it, which is a bit embarrassing to be quite honest, and pretty discouraging. But I'm hopeful for the third time because I believe the third time is the charm and we'll get there. We got 3 and 6 the first time, 4 and 5. So I'm assuming the next one we'll probably get like 5 and 4. So hopefully we'll get there. We'll make the finals of FUT Champs and play our 20 games as well. Because it's quite unfortunate we didn't get to play last weekend. So hopefully this upcoming weekend we'll be able to play. We'll be able to qualify and also qualify for the finals to play those 20 games. And yes, even because of how the champs and rivals are set up, the investing aspect of FIFA 22 has changed quite a bit, and certain periods of the week has changed in that some cards will be lower. Certain parts, people are saying Saturday during the weekend league, and they think a lot of the cards will go up probably like Friday or throughout the week, but Saturday is the low point to buy team of the week cards, the more popular ones, and from there you could hold on these cards and make profit. So there's just stuff like that, but there's a lot of ways people make coins, and I've been kind of researching on that and trying to make coins myself. And there's like the 10 20 30 method, there's a bronze pack method, there's people bidding and selling now for the SBC solutions. So a lot of techniques, a lot of methods in how we make coins. So yeah, I just been looking into that and have done a little bit of investing myself. I don't know if I'm up though, because I feel like I followed a lot of people's advice and I've took some losses. I took some gains, but I think I took more losses. And I'm going to try to invest more in Team of the Week cards. As if I were to give an example right now of the cards I'm investing, they're the Team of the Week Tonali, Team of the Week Foden, and David. So those cards are currently a lot higher than when I bought them. They're very low on Saturday, and I bought some of those cards on Saturday. Oh, and there's also the French guy. I forgot how to pronounce his name. He's the center mid. And I invested in those cards on Saturday. Besides the French guy, I think I invested on Sunday when he was a bit higher. But these cards will increase over time because the supply is low. Will be low because the weekend is when they're getting all the rewards. They're packing all these Team of the Weeks, and then eventually the supply will slow down throughout the week, and the value of these cards will increase. So you already see Foden. If I look at Foden right now on Footbin, let's look at his price right now, and I'll tell you at what price that I bought him at. So I bought Foden at 91,500. He's probably up to 110 right now. Yeah, 110. So I could sell him right now and make, a decent profit. But obviously I'm going to hold a little bit on Foden. I'm going to hold because they're just going to even go higher. You look at a guy like Barella, if you look at October the 3rd, Barella was at 75k. Now he's at 135 a week later. So you hold on for like a week and you make like 60k right there, and if you had multiple Barellas, then hey, that's cash money. Alex coming in through the chat. So Alex has just subscribed to us. Hey, thank you for the sub and thank you for coming in. Biggest downfall of FIFA 22. I don't know what the biggest downfall is. I mean, yeah, that's a hard one. I don't know if there's like a huge downfall to it. My personal struggle with 22 was the finishing. And I think personally, if I just, practice on my shooting, I think I would resolve that a lot. But I haven't been winning games because I struggle to win goals. You play these great games where you have the possession, you have the passing, you're dominating the stats, but you still lose because at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is the goals. So, for me personally, the shooting has been difficult, but I think I've been adjusting. This period has been a time where I've been adjusting to the game, and I think I'm picking it up. So, what I will say about my squad right now is just recently. So, starting off with FIFA, I had a La Liga team, and I built around a Liga squad where I had guys like João Felix, Benzema, Koundé, Modric. Who else? I had Valverde in there and Carvajal. So a good and Hazard. So a pretty good, decent budget Liga team. Obviously, I didn't have Lorente. I didn't have the coins for Lorente, but these. I don't know. I felt like I was really underperforming with this Liga team, and then just recently, I completely changed it up to a Serie A team because I feel like I needed a change. I feel like maybe this team it's not helping me. And on top of that, I just wanted a lot of coins. I had a lot of tradable Liga players, and I thought I'll just sell these guys and I'll just invest. I have a lot of Serie A guys on my team already, some pretty good ones like Dybala and Chesney. So I'm like, I'm gonna get these guys in here and not spend as much coins and put all the coins into investing. So I had the Serie A team. It's composed of guys like Dybala, Chesney. I just bought Koulibaly. I have Bonucci in there, the center back. He's a bit slow, but he hasn't been doing too bad. And who else? I don't know the right back. I don't know his name. But he has like 86 pace. I just bought Chiesa. I have Mkhitaryan. I have Muriel. Who else do I have? Gozens at left mid. And that team's actually pretty good. I'm actually performing well. I got myself to Div 5 from Div 6. Been hitting a 3-game winning streaks for the first time. And yeah, I've just been playing really well. Chiesa and Dybala are definitely the meta players, and they're really cheap. Chiesa is really cheap. Last time I checked, he was like 5K. Dybala is like 20K. Dybala is just amazing. I had Dybala, but I subbed him in, and I feel like I haven't been using him at the fullest. But once I started using him at cam and starting with him, I've been scoring goals with him, and he's just so good in the box with his finesse, his finishing, dribbling. Amazing. So with the Serie A team, it's been good, and we've been doing pretty well with the adjustments. On top of that, we got a lot of coins, and we invested in a lot of Team of the Week cards, and hopefully in the next couple days they'll go up in value, and we'll look to sell and make some profit. Alex asks, should EA remove finesse long shots? To be honest, I don't know if I mind it too much. Um, some of these shots are a bit too ridiculous, but like it does it does give you an opportunity to score, like more options to score, because you don't want to be in the box all the time and trying to score, get an opening in the box for you to score. So maybe part of my game, I could utilize shots from the outside, which will make defenders, commit to me a bit more, which would open up more space inside the box. So tactically, having another option where you could have finesse long shots could be more beneficial and could give you more options offensively. And I think finesse long shots, that's a part of my game I really didn't utilize in 21. But now that I'm utilizing it a bit more, I think it does open up space for moves inside the box and the ability to score in there. So I think I'm okay with it. At first, it's like, oh my gosh, these shots are ridiculous. But now that that's the meta, everybody's gonna start utilizing it. Maybe if I were to nerf something, maybe I would nerf the goalkeepers, not make them as much crazier as they are. But then again, I mean, all you really have to do is adjust to the new meta shooting, which I mentioned before, which are the time finishing, the low driven shots, the finesse, the outside the box, the headers, the crossing. We didn't mention that. The crossing, I've been scoring more crossing goals in 22 in this period more than like 21, the entire FIFA. And yeah, I think I'm scoring a lot more goals from headers, especially from corners, especially from just going down with the wings, just or as stupid. um, yeah. So yeah, in terms of crossing has I have been scoring more goals with crossing, and I do kind of like that because again, it gives me more options to score. So I can't say that some of these changes like are that bad. I do like the crossing aspect. I think that's like the only plus. so so Alex says they can't block long shots but can save 6 feet shots. Yeah. I mean, there's like point blank shots where it's the goalkeeper and the shooter, and they save it. You put good power behind it, and they still save it. So I think at those moments, it's better to use low driven shots. Because I noticed making that adjustment, I did more low driven shots, and they start going in more as opposed to just kind of blasting it. You could put enough power into it, and it could get by the goalie. I've seen that work more, but if you don't put as much power, they're most likely gonna block it. So yeah, I mean, if you could somehow, you know, get some space and apply low driven shots, those will go in more often. And yeah, that's what I think about that. Um, but we'll see what they decide to nerf, what they decide to add in or take away. I think I think the change up with all the FUT champs and the rivals is pretty interesting. It does put more emphasis on rivals because you do have to work your way up, and you don't really have a skill rating till you hit elite, I believe. And yeah, once you hit elite, then you're one of the top players in the game, and then you'll start going against pros. So it's it's a pretty interesting concept. They put more emphasis on rivals while supposed to before it wasn't. Maybe in 21, like, people didn't care about rivals as much. I didn't care as much. I really just cared about FUT champs and trying to get good ranking. But now rivals matters a bit more now as opposed to just champs. So they both matter. And people have also been saying it's been a bit more sweatier in champs, especially the fact that you gotta play those 9 games, you gotta qualify for the finals, so you kind of weed out all the bad players, and then champs will be going against all decent players, right? So you weed out the bad players like myself who can't seem to make the finals, but I do plan to do it this week, so don't count me out. And if not, then maybe I should just quit FIFA. Um, so that's that. I mean, what is there? What other things are there to discuss in this FIFA? What is there to mention? obviously people have been saying it's a completely different game, and people have been making a lot of adjustments. You gotta have people that like it, you gotta have people that don't like it as much and don't do as well. So I guess it really depends also on your play style, how you played in 21 going into 22. So the way you played in 21 might suit with this new features in 22, where some of these like finesse outside the box, or you were good with headers in 21, it's going to be even more beneficial for you in 22. So yeah, that's even playstyle, that's a factor in how you perform in this game, how good you are. And if you're really good, you'll be able to adjust on the fly. You'll practice on your own, you'll work on your shooting, you'll work on the skill games, the arena, and you'll develop your craft. You'll develop your skill moves, your dribbling moves, as well as your ability to pass and finish and defend. So even putting the time to practice in your spare hours do matter, helping you get better at the game. And that's just with anything in life. If you want to get better at a trait or a skill, you just gotta put some time into it. So maybe that is something we need to do more if we really do want to improve. So moving forward, if we got enough viewers in the chat, I would love to answer more questions. You know, if not, we'll continue to talk more about 22. I guess what we could also talk about is just the content creating aspect. We've been streaming on Twitch for over a year now. It's been a year and a couple months, and the streaming has been good. It's been growing. We recently did a 50-hour stream, which was just ridiculous. I cannot believe I did that, but it was a great stream. We got a lot of viewers coming in, a lot of people that rated, that showed a lot of support, and it has been amazing. So in regards to long-term streams, I've done a 12-hour, I've done a 24, and we've done a 50-hour. So, those are quite the milestones of a streamer. There can't be many streamers that have done a 24 or 48, and that's with no sleep. So, how I came to do a 50-hour stream, I guess I could give a little context behind that. And basically, like one of my friends was talking about how another streamer, another big time Apex streamer that goes by the name of It's Timmy, did a 55-hour stream, and basically he was going from the lowest rank to the highest rank. And then he was kind of convincing me that I should do a 50-hour stream. And he mentioned stuff like, "Oh, you're not really a real streamer until you do like a 48-hour stream." And he's just joking, obviously. But that kind of motivated me and kind of wanted to challenge me to do something like that. So I thought a good time to do that would be FIFA, when the release of the Ultimate Edition. So I just did it. I just kind of freed up my schedule during that time, and I just went for it, and we just did a 50-hour. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it all in one stream session because a couple things have happened. The first time, what happened was the Streamlabs was lagging, so I had to end it and restart it and start a whole new stream session. So that was after like probably a 17-hour period. And then after that, I think we went on for another 13, 14 hours, and the internet went out. So the internet went out, and then I did a mobile live stream, just me chatting for a couple hours. Once the internet came back on, we finished it out and completed the rest of the hours back on the OBS. So it was like 3 OBS stream sessions along with a couple mobile sessions where it was going live and not going live, but pretty much stayed awake for the whole 50 hours and completed the streams. So that was quite a challenge to do, and towards the end, you're just pretty much out of it. You're just pretty much out of it. You're trying to get by, you're trying to stay awake, and you're trying to play. I think what helped gave me energy was just playing with the viewers, playing pro clubs or playing co-op with fellow viewers and followers and supporters of the stream, as opposed to playing alone. If you just play alone, it gets kind of boring and more likely to get tired. So that is what helped me get through it. It's just the viewers and the followers just supporting and just playing with me, and that's what made it a lot better to go with. And just towards the end, I was just done. I was just out of it. Just wanted it to be over, and immediately just fell asleep. What's funny is right after I fell asleep, I think I slept for like 6 hours. I woke up. For some reason, I couldn't go back to sleep. And the first thing I did was play FIFA. And I thought I wasn't going to play FIFA for a while, but I still kept at it and still kept playing. Now, I really thought I wasn't going to keep playing FIFA, but I ended up playing FIFA just on a regular basis, even after the 50 hours. I did take a couple days off from streaming just to give myself a break. But in terms of playing, I just kept playing. So I thought I would be away from the game at least a couple days, but that is not the case, and we ended up still playing some FIFA. It's hard to stay away from the game. It really is. It really is difficult to stay away from the game, especially if you just want to grind, you want to improve the team, you want to get better at the game. You just got to put the time in, and it's hard to stay away. It's like this habit of just playing. You just develop this habit of keep playing FIFA, streaming, and just working on your craft. So yeah, we did a 50-hour stream. We got it done. I don't see myself doing a long-term stream in the near future. Maybe if there's a special occasion, there's a special reason to do it, I would consider it. But in the meantime, that 50-hour, those long-term streams, it'll be a while before we get to do that again. So yeah, we did that, and then during the 50-hour stream, we hit our 500 follower milestone, which was great. A lot of support there, a lot of followers, a lot of subs coming through, so really appreciate it from all the viewers. And really the next goal is to hit 1,000 followers on Twitch. Maybe we can hit 1,000 mark in YouTube and get partnered with YouTube. So it's only possible with you guys if you guys continue to support us, as long as I'm creating content that could be of value to you, and more people watch, and we could get there, we could hit our goals. And even on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, on Anchor, we could get more people tuning in. Our audience can increase and get more people to listen on into the podcast. And I hope people have been enjoying the podcast. We're doing our first or second solo session in a while, and we haven't done that in a bit. Road to 1K. Yes, that's the goal. That's the next goal. It's the next step in our milestone. So I think we'll get there. In terms of Twitch, and subscribers, it's been slowly going up. So hopefully we continue to get more support. I do plan on streaming after this, so we'll do a little bit of a FIFA stream, do some SVCs, try to get to Div 4 in Rivals, and yeah, go from there. So yeah, I mean, those are the goals, man. Those are the goals of what we want to do with content creating. I want to have more guests, obviously, for the podcast, and just continue to stream, continue to make more content. Um, but to be quite honest, I don't know how much time I want to spend on FIFA and content creating. I've been spending a lot of time as of late, but it's possible I might spend less time doing all that. Maybe streaming a bit less and doing a less frequent amount of podcast, and that's due to the fact that I really want to focus more on my career, on real estate, and kind of, if you guys don't know already, viewers, I do real estate. I'm a real estate agent here in California, and I feel like I should put more focus on that. Recently, I've been in a transition period where I'm trying to change companies, and it did free me up some time to do more streaming. But going forward, I'm not sure how I'll be able to balance that. So that's kind of um, the challenge will be, is how I'll be able to balance what I do with my real estate job, and how how I'll be juggling that and content creating. Am I a baller? Not no, no, I'm not a baller. Maybe in the future, in the near future, I hope so. If there is people in California that are looking for an agent to buy or sell, you know who to hit up. You know it. And if you do know people that are interested, there is a referral fee if I do end up closing a transaction. So you know who to hit up. You guys know who to hit up. Those in Cali looking to buy homes, investing. Hey, investing, or you want to purchase a home, or you want to sell your home and move somewhere else, you know who to hit up, bro. Everybody, it's a little plug for myself. But yeah, I do, in all seriousness, I do want to focus more on that, and if that is the case, that might take away time from me doing this content creating and the podcast. Although I do enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. I think the community that I built up through Twitch, through streaming, through the YouTube and podcasts have been amazing, and the experiences, just the time spent into that, have been great. Only in North Cal. Well, I'm actually located in Southern California. So I can do, obviously the business will be down here, but I can always refer people in other states and other parts of the state, especially with the company that I'll be going to, can refer you to a lot of other agents within the company, so that can be worked out. And I could definitely help you service, even though that is not my expertise, or that is not my area. Uh, but yeah, so going forward, that is another thing to consider, is just how I'm gonna juggle the time between content creating and real estate, and my career. Um, so I think yeah, I don't know if we'll see as much content, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. If we could do this full time, obviously I would focus more on this, because this is way more fun. I enjoy this way more. But we're not at that place yet. We're not at that place. We're not a full time streamer. We do this part time. We do this for fun. We make a little bit of money, but it really isn't much to make it as a career. But hopefully one day, maybe we could get there one day. Maybe through time we'll make a little bit more money. So doing all this content creating. So hopefully one day it will pay off, and maybe it is something we could do full time. So that is That is that is my goal, and I'm sure that's the goal of many other streamers. As I've interacted with a lot of streamers, and that is their goal too. Maybe one day they could do that as well. Um, yeah, hopefully we could all get there, but we shall see. So, does the chat have any other questions? Now, we appreciate those that have stuck with us through this entire session. Shout out to Alvarez coming through and interacting with us. We really do appreciate you. He's a great supporter and amazing pro clubs player. Carries us in pro clubs. And yes, I do play pro clubs. I play Ultimate Team and pro clubs have been a lot of fun, especially with you got a lot of good players to play with. And yeah, I've been playing a lot as of late. Played a long session yesterday with It's Dov, who's also another Twitch streamer, amazing streamer as well, cool dude. And we ran with him and a couple other streamers, couple other supporters of his Twitch, of his streams, and got a good session going, man. And got our way up to Div 9 title, all the way up to Div 8, and that's when I just dipped. And our man Alvarez in chat was with us. Road to Div 1. Yes, we gotta get to Div 1. In our pro clubs team, we're in Div 7. I gotta get back on my pro clubs, so I gotta make sure I change that because we're still in Dobbs team. But yeah, maybe that's possible. That's within reach. So Alex was there. Alex mentioned that he had a full team. Now, did you have 11 teams or 11 players on the team? Because when I played my last game, we had 8. I think that's the most I ever played with. I haven't played with any more than that, or as much as that. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot of people. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. Usually we would play anywhere from like 3 to like 5 on average, I'd say, in my pro club sessions. But I never played 11. I never played with 11 or 11 on 11, which would be actually pretty crazy. That'd be fun to play. I would love to have a pro club session where we could play 11 on 11. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I missed out, man. Maybe I should have stayed longer and play with you guys, but I played for a long time, and I think it was time to get a bite to eat. But hey, man, was it fun? I'm glad you had fun, Alvarez. I hope you had a good time. Pro clubs is pretty fun. I think the only thing with pro clubs that I just don't like is they still have this glitch with the jerseys where you have the teams match up in like the same jersey color, like white on white, and they still haven't fixed that glitch. So that's the only thing that's really irritating. But other than that, pro clubs is really enjoyable. So there have been a couple games where even though we switched the jerseys, we gotta play white on white, and when that happens, it's hard to differentiate who's on your team and who's not. So that's the only thing with pro clubs that I don't like. But other than that, pro clubs is a game mode that's just like fun to play. It's relaxing. You don't really stress out as much. You just have fun, really, and you just have fun, hang out with everybody that you're playing with, and just chat and just chill. That's what's best about it. You don't really get too emotional about it, but you could just have a good time. Alex saying it was fun playing 11. Yeah, I wish one day I could play with 11 players. I need to do that one of these days, and maybe one like a pro club session where we could play 11 on 11. Now that would be crazy. I would love to play 11 on 11 pro clubs. Maybe on this FIFA, man. We gotta get enough heads, man. We gotta get enough heads where we could get at least 22 people to just come on in and just play some pro clubs, man. That'd be fun. You know what would be fun is if we get like we get R11 from our streams. Excuse me. We get our 11 from our streams and we go against another streamer. They have their 11 and we just go at it, you know. Actually, but you can't even do can you even do like a friendly like that? I would love to like set up a friendly where we could do 11 on 11. I don't know if that feature is there on pro clubs where you could manually uh face a team like a friendly. That'd be great though. 11 on 11. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the only two things I know there's career mode. I know there's been a lot of changes with career mode in 22 as well, and I know a lot of people play it. Me personally, I don't get into career mode, so I just put all my focus on Ultimate Team, and then on the spare time we'll play some pro clubs. Oh, I'll play some seasons too. I'll play some seasons or co-op seasons. That's actually pretty fun too, and I enjoy that. So you, Alex is saying you can play. Uh, you could do like a friendly with different clubs. So 11 on 11 would be great. Dov squad versus Koballa squad. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. We get a full 11 on 11. That's content for you. That is content for you, and I'll definitely put that on the YouTube if that ever were to happen. And Dov's got some good players, man. They got some good players on their team, so we do as well. We got some good players on our squad, our supporters. So it'll be a good match, man. It'll be a good match. So, if that were to ever happen, I hope it could happen one day. One day, I really do hope we could happen. Alex wants to play Volta. I tried Volta last FIFA, but I don't think I'll get into it this one. Again, I just really want to put my energy on Ultimate Team. The time I do have, just put it into Ultimate Team and hopefully go really far with that. And obviously have a little bit of fun with seasons and co-op seasons and pro clubs. Those are game modes just to, you can still play other people, you can still play online, but you're not really stressing out as much. So, yeah, that is, I think this would be a good time to wrap it up. Um, hey, Ryan Moore comes in. How you doing, man? How you doing? You'll take them down. Alex, which side will you play for? Will you play for Dobbs squad or will you play for the Koballa squad? I think that's the more important question. Hey, yes, Ryan. How's it going, my man? Welcome in. Welcome in. Um since you have came through, Ryan, we will give you a little bit of time to ask some questions, a live Q&A at this point. If you got some questions for me, I'll save some time just for you since you came through. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. Oh my gosh, Alex, until he breaks his ankles again. So there's this one play yesterday in pro clubs where Alex was playing center back for our pro clubs team, and he got his ankles broken. This guy just bridged on him, and they just went separate ways, man. Oh my gosh, like that guy just teleported towards the goal, and then Alex just went the other way, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like that. Now Alex is actually a pretty good pro clubs player. He's a really good defender, but that sequence, ooh, that might have been one of the nastiest plays I've ever seen in FIFA 22 in pro clubs. Oh my gosh, that was. Unfortunately, Alex was on the bad end of a highlight reel. Hey, I'm good, Ryan. How are you, man? How are you? How's your night going? Yes, if you would like to ask us any questions at this point, we'll give you a couple minutes to ask away, Ryan, since you are here. Um, if not, we will wrap it up here in this podcast session. It's been a great session, man. I really appreciate you guys coming through and just to get a chance to reflect on FIFA so far. Hopefully, I'll enjoy it more as we go on. It's been a tough couple weeks where I've been having trouble adjusting. But I think once I hit weekend league, once I qualify for the finals, I'll be good. Once I get a good rank, get a good record, we could go from there, man. We really could go. Have to make an hour long decision, says Alex. um, yes, so that is where we're at. How is Ryan asks, how is the PS5 for FIFA? The FIFA, for me, it's not that much different than the PS4. Obviously, the graphics are a lot better. The graphics are a lot better. I think with the hypermotion technology, it only applies to the PS5, so the gameplay is a bit more realistic for PS5. And um, yeah, so I mean, I like it. I like the PS5. I don't mind playing on it. I don't mind playing with the sweats on PS5. PS4, I'll play that too if I need to, especially for pro clubs, especially for people that don't have the next gen. So I could go back and forth. I don't mind it either way, to be honest. And I've been liking the PS5. It's been good, especially when you go through the like the modes where you're just going through the menu. It's a lot faster. It uploads faster, better specs, no lag. I love that aspect of it, playing with the PS5. So I don't have to deal with the lag of the PS4, where it's just like, actually, yeah, when you're going through the menus on PS4, it's just ridiculous. But at least PS5 gives you that option to play on the PS4 version or the PS5, which is great. So is Alex gonna take his talents to SoCal? Is he gonna stay home? I think he needs to stay home in SoCal and play with the Koballa squad, as opposed to going to the East Coast. It makes no sense taking his talents there when he's already home. That is my take on that. Alex, you have a spot, but if you go to Dov's team, no hurt feelings, no hard feelings. Okay, I will not get upset at all. But just know you have a permanent spot on the Koballa squad. Getting a PS. So Ryan is getting a PS5 for Christmas. Hey, hopefully you get it soon, man. Get it soon. Otherwise, get it. Hey, tell your parents to buy it right now, bro. Tell them to buy it right now before they all sell out, because everybody's trying to get it for Christmas, man. Once it gets closer to Christmas, I feel like it's gonna get harder to get. So, who's winning the Ballon d'Or? That's I don't know. Who's tearing it up right now? Who won it last year? Yeah, I don't know who's been playing well in the football scene. That's a very good question. I don't know. Would it be Messi? Would it be CR7? Mbappe? Maybe Mbappe. Mbappe seems to be playing well, right? Do we give it to those guys? Do we give it to Benzema? Does Benzema get there? Oh yeah, we gotta if you're on the opposing team, we gotta break your ankles. If you're on Dov's squad, we definitely gotta break your ankles, Alvarez. Okay, so Brian, it looks like most likely he'll be able to get a PS5 for Christmas. But oh, nobody got it. Oh, interesting. Nobody got it. Yeah, guys like a Mbappe. Say Lua. Yeah, Lua. Actually, Lua probably should have won it the canceled year, the past year, right? Yeah, I could definitely see Lua winning it too. So yes, yes. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for Ballon d'Or. I gave some options, but I'm not a football expert. But yeah, I think we're closing in on an hour session. It's been a good session, a good pod, a good live Q&A. Our supporters have come through in the chat, and we appreciate them being with us in this podcast session. It was fun. I will be live on stream right after this, so you guys could interact with me more, or we could, do some FIFA, or I don't know. We'll see. I do want to do some SBCs. I know they have a 78 plus. They have a UDT SBC. So we'll see what we do on stream. Stream a little bit. And yes, thank you so much. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed and followed us on Twitch, our YouTube is FIFA Koballa 44, and Twitch is Koballa. And for the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the other platforms out there, it's FIFA Koballa Podcast. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for tuning in at this time. And yes, thank you, Alex. I will definitely have that. If you're going to stop by, please do so. We'd love to interact with you more. Ryan, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you, guys. We'll end it here, and we'll do a live Twitch session in a couple minutes. So everybody in the pod listening, again, thank you again, and I will see you guys later.